Howdy howlers, it's Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voight. I write horror and I'm a witch and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. Today I am pulling the witchy card. We're going to start going through basic witches, which is a really cute branch from traditional witchcraft into modern witchcraft. There's some stuff that I think is really goofy, like using emojis as sigils and stuff like that, but there are some gems in here. Hey Amelia, good to see you. Hooray, hooray. Coffee time. Clinky glasses. Who am I? What's going on here? I don't know. Hello, Spence. Awesome to see you, baby. I'm having fun putting together character for Jace's V5 game. I don't know when it's going to start, but it's going to be awesome. Probably January sometime. I lost a viewer? That's weird. Good morning, my witches. Good morning, my witches. This is the book. Working on House for Murder Goddess. Awesome Blossom. Does Orla guest with you when you do the Murder Goddess houses? I'll at least read the back of the book. Give your life some hex appeal. Tap into your inner sorceress and channel the dark arts with this magical lifestyle guide for everything from powering up a stylish talisman to banishing terrible Tinder dates. Want to feel terrifyingly beautiful? Wear the right color of eyeshadow to project otherworldly glamour. Need to exorcise a toxic friendship? Repeat the proper incantation and make it disappear. Want to increase your energy? Whip up a tasty herbal potion to rev up your stamina. Do-it-yourself projects, rituals, and spells, along with fun historical sidebars, summon the best trends of the modern witchy lifestyle and the time-trusted traditions of the hell-raising women of the past. With humor, heart, and a hip sensibility, Jaya, Saxena, and Jess Zimmerman dispense witchy wisdom for the curious, the cynical, and anyone who could use a magical boost. And the graphic design in this book is actually quite lovely. I'm quite a fan of their designer. I'm like, I want to design a book this pretty. When it's time to execute the loser, Orla comes in live to pronounce their sentence. Oh, I see. Okay. The last survivor, is that basically what's up? Okay, so this is the first chapter. Isn't this cool? Super groovy. Self-initiation, an induction into basic witchery. I like that it comes with a bookmark. It's nice. Hello, Christina Poe. I love to see you here. Just in case you missed it, this is the book we're reading now because we finished Year of the Witch. And I decided this was going to be lighter reading than the Big Blue Book, which is super traditional. Oops. I did not use my bookmark when I closed this book. There we go. Morning, Cat Leo. Good to see you. Are you still in class things? Or are you just waiting for your appointment in the afternoon? Love the cover. The aesthetic is great. Yeah, actually, look at this chapter opening. And like super cute, right? I rather dig it. All the chapters are illustrated like that. It's pretty cool. Normally I don't read the, introductions and preludes and stuff like that, but we will do that today. Also, are those, yes, hands on your shirt grasping your milk factory, indeed. Not that my milk factory is in business. My milk factory is not in the business of making milk. I just have the appointment this afternoon, otherwise working on stuff and off and on. Cool. My character is mostly built. I've got like a couple of things, like I need 2 more flaws, and I don't know what they're going to be yet. There aren't a lot of flaws. Wow, I really like the illustrations. They did a great job. I agree. So I will go ahead and start now that we're 8 minutes in. You have shopping to do today, which is throwing your routines off. That's okay. What kind of shopping? Christmas shopping? Food shopping? What's up? Witches are everywhere these days. Fashion trends feature flowy black clothes and dark lipstick, magazines and websites run special witch-themed issues, and hipster covens are forming in Brooklyn. What's so appealing about the witch? Partly nostalgia. Women now in their 20s and 30s fondly remember growing up watching The Craft and Sabrina the Teenage Witch, reading Harry Potter, playing light as a feather, stiff as a board at slumber parties, or saving their allowance for a collectible light-up Hermione wand. But the witch isn't kitsch. The modern witchy zeitgeist doesn't only glance backward into childhood, it looks forward to the future of powerful, defiant women. Witchcraft appeals to the weird, the outcast, the unconventional. It has long been a spiritual practice of belonging to those on society's fringes. And cultural images of witches gleaned from history and movies and books and TV resonate particularly with women who reject the strictures of expected female behavior, women who are trying to connect with something stronger and scarier. In the original Old English, witch was a word that could apply to women and men alike. In fact, Wicca, from which we get the word witch, can be directly translated as male witch or sorcerer. But in the 15th century, witch hunting guides with the Malleus Maleficarum argued that the women who were more inclined to witchcraft because they were inherently weak, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and susceptible to the devil's machinations. There we go. This theory may sound ridiculous, but ideas like this have influenced notions of witchcraft and broadly of women for centuries. Witch quickly became a charge levied almost exclusively at women, particularly women who lived alone outside the confines of the community. The witch was not beautiful, or she was suspiciously too beautiful. At any rate, she didn't look the way others thought she should. She refused men when they didn't appeal to her, pursued them when they did, and satisfied herself with that broomstick she always rode. She had cats instead of children. Other women came to her for care and comfort, but also turned on her when associating with when associating with her threatened their social standing. The witch was intimidating, after all, too strange, too unruly, too much. But in mainstream modern U.S. culture, we've largely defanged the witch. Our cultural image is sometimes evil, but sometimes silly, as if to suggest that the best way to counter things we don't understand is to laugh at them. Witches have green skin and warts and ride around on brooms yelling at children, and then they get houses dropped on them. Personally, our favorite pop culture witches retain that old, defiant, unruly nature. They're smart, strange, fearlessly ugly, sexy on their own terms. But for the most part, our culture no longer fears those traits in witches. Now it mocks them. Modern-day self-identified witches and pagans and Wiccans, different groups that share some common beliefs, are trying to rescue the witch from haters and scoffers alike. They have resurrected old religions and traditions and sometimes combined them to create new communities. Witches of all stripes, from the religious to the spiritual to the secular, gather in covens or practice alone, defying cultural stereotypes about witchcraft as dangerous or ridiculous. They find power in a goddess or nature or themselves. This book isn't for them, though. They're all set. This book is for you. Who are you? You're not necessarily a practicing witch. You might not believe in magic or mysticism or spiritually at all, but you're intrigued by the power, or the sisterhood, or the devil may literally care attitude of the witches you've seen in pop culture and history. You don't think women should be considered frightening or ridiculous just because they don't toe the line. You probably identify as a woman, but maybe you don't. Maybe you're outside the gender binary, or maybe you're a man who's committed to justice for all. We are going to talk mainly about women in this book because a lot of historical and cultural crap surrounding witches has been directed at women specifically. But we're also going to talk a lot about how societal notions of masculine and feminine, who can be a witch and what they're worth, are total bullshit. You might be into spiritualism and the occult. Maybe you don't believe tarot cards can predict the future, but you still give yourself readings when you feel lost because the symbolism helps you tap into your hopes and fears. Maybe you've gotten together with friends to put a hex on your ex, not because you believed anything would happen, but because it was fun and made you feel better. Maybe you bought spells out of the backs of magazines just to see if they work. Or maybe you dress like the girls from The Craft because, hey, it's a good look. Or maybe you're not into the myth and ritual at all. Maybe you're literal and pragmatic and you know for a fact that magic is not real. Maybe you think pretending otherwise is even helpful or fun. But you still appreciate the historical witch, the unruly woman, the woman who refuses to obey, the community healer with her cauldron of herbs, and you recognize yourself in her. For you, a witch is any woman who understands she has power even when the world insists she doesn't. Whether you wear all black and light candles for luck, or you have no truck whatsoever with spells and witchy outfits. If you want to dismantle the cultural conditioning that trains women to be weak and small, you're in the right place. Welcome to our kind of witchcraft. What we mean by witchcraft. Though it was once effectively a death sentence, the charge of witchcraft has never been supported with much evidence. We know women were accused of performing magic and consorting with the devil, but all we can truly know is that they pissed off someone in power, whether for performing an abortion or refusing to be Christian or saying no to a man. Yeah, Fields. In this book, witchcraft doesn't mean occult or religious practices that historical witches may or may not have engaged in, nor does it mean the religious practice that is sacred tradition for many people worldwide. We don't want to diminish that kind of witchcraft or lay claim to it. For our purposes, witchcraft means the kind of mundane pursuits that might once have resulted in accusation: enjoying sex, controlling reproductive health, hanging out with other women, not caring what men think, disagreeing, and just knowing stuff. Our witchcraft is a cultural ethos. Our witchcraft is about rebellion, and not for rebellion's sake, but with the purpose of living true to ourselves. That may mean embracing the traits you've been told make you weird. Hi, Nicole. Good to see that you're still like popping by the stream and stuff like that, especially since you kind of changed the direction of your channel. It's good to see you. I was worried that you would disappear from our lives with the new direction of your channel. All right, where was I? Many women that may mean embracing the traits you've been taught make you weird, gross, insufficiently feminine. Many women are taught from an early age that any power we have, even power over ourselves, is considered dangerous, but witches revel in that danger. Ambition, assertiveness, nonconformity, high standards, the ability to say no, control over your own body, all witchcraft by our definition. Our witchcraft also means practicing arts that may be devalued because they're too feminine. Listening, supporting friends, choosing clothes, applying makeup, crafts and cooking, taking care of people or animals, making and keeping friends, and allowing yourself space. If you speak when you're told to be quiet, take pride when you're told to feel shame, love what and who you love, whether or not others approve, you are practicing witchcraft. Hey, Brianna. Long time no see, honey. My little bye. Some of these abilities you are probably already in touch with. Others might be less familiar. You might feel ashamed for not being good at them naturally. Hold on. I.e., I don't know anything about makeup, or why am I so bad at being a girl? You might turn your nose up at them because you've been taught that they're unmasculine and therefore unserious. I don't care about feelings. I'm logical. Grateful for the sun today. Yes, absolutely. It's nice and warm-ish. It's like 50 degrees already, so I suspect it'll be warmer today. Oh, this is the book we're reading now. It's Bridging the Gap Between Traditional and Modern Witchcraft. And we're going into what they mean by witchcraft in this book, which is basically being a feminist. You might have deeply ingrained beliefs telling you that certain skills are off limits. But if I speak up, people will think I'm such a bitch. Hi. Good to see you guys. What we mean by magic. This book cannot teach you to levitate, conjure wealth, or communicate with ghosts. Though, if you figure out how to do any of that, please call us. What it can teach you are the mantras, incantations, rituals, and other tiny spells that allow you to tap into your latent abilities and hidden power. Even if you know on some level that you can access and experience self-confidence, inner calm, and emotional acceptance, you might find doing so intimidating, embarrassing, or just plain difficult. The magic of this book will help you actualize those positive feelings. We'll talk about using magic to feel confident, to deal with your past, to envision your future, to break out of negative habits. You'll learn how to create an eternal bond by making hot chocolate, use crystals and talismans and tarot cards to harness power, and move through grief by making a friendship bracelet. This magic might sound a little silly, but the theory behind it is simple logic. Human brains are weird. Hold on. I skipped a line. Human brains are weird. Everyone's, not just yours. Sometimes the more you tell yourself to do something, the less you want to do it, even when it's something you really want to do. Like supporting your friends in their successes, demanding the treatment you deserve at work, or generally valuing yourself. No matter our good intentions, we all make excuses to avoid doing what we know we should do. But rituals can redirect your focus, forcing your brain to subvert these excuses. Our version of modern magic is a means for navigating any mental obstacles that crop up. Especially magic is a set of tricks to outwitting yourself. We said brains are weird. And it works. We know because we've made it happen ourselves. Magic by hot chocolate? Yes. Yes. I do magic by coffee. I also love doing magic by making and drinking hot chocolate. 11 out of 10 approve. Yes. All right, where was I? This example sounds a little grim at first, but stick with us. A love witch. I've always focused on love grams to friends and being as supportive as I can be. I think writing spells is my strongest craft. That is awesome. I think writing spells is one of my strengths too. Some days I'm better at executing than others. Food is magic. That's why I have a particularly strong opinion of kitchen witches, because everything they do is powerful. Manifester. Witch! You're a witch! Okay. Back in 2001, soon after the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center, letters containing live anthrax spores were delivered to a number of media outlets and congressional offices. Several people got sick, and 5 died. On the heels of 9/11, most Americans were already somewhere on the spectrum between traumatized and extremely tense. And for Jess, who lived in Washington, D.C., where some of the attacks took place, the anthrax sent that anxiety into overdrive. How much overdrive? She broke out in stress hives, which of course she worried were contagious anthrax. Jess knew that she was vanishingly unlikely to be an anthrax target, even accidentally, but she couldn't stop her brain from trudging over and over around the same irrational circular track. She turned me into a newt. Well, I got better. Mr. Spencer identifies as the kitchen witch. Right on. I was thinking that too. But I got better. But then her friend Kevin came through with a magical amulet. Great minds and all that. What you need for anthrax, he said, is wax. Public Enemy says very clearly in their song, Bring the Noise, that wax is for anthrax. You should get some wax. Sure, this reasoning was patently ridiculous, but so was being worried. So Jess got a bit of wax and knitted a little wax cozy for it and carried it around with her and instantly felt better. Why? Public Enemy aren't exactly wizards, except in the sense of magically excellent musicians, and the wax is just wax. It didn't have any powers. But it kept Jess calm because its presence became a reminder to stop letting her brain chew itself to death with worry. And as such, it was an extremely effective talisman. The system works. You may never experience anthrax anxiety, but you probably do an equally specific problem that magic could help with. So we've grouped our magical suggestions into chapters on beauty, love, sex, friendship, and negative emotions. We encourage you to read through and experiment with all the spells in this book and to feel free to adapt them to suit your needs and comfort level. Do you feel silly speaking an incantation? That's fine. You can recite it in your head. Is one of the spell components too hard to find? To source in your apartment at midnight on a Tuesday when you really need closure on your past relationship? That's fine. Improvise. Think of our spells as starting points for recognizing all the astonishing ways in which you can communicate with your own brain and change the course of your thoughts and emotions. Of all the elements of a successful spell, your intention and your desire for change are the only essential parts. Meet your local witches. Many rappers in that era were wizards, high-level spell writing for sure. Yeah, no kidding. We, Jess and Jaya, will guide you through your journey to witchy self-actualization, even though, well, sort of because, we're not witches in the traditional sense. We don't practice witchcraft as a religion, but we do see ourselves as continuing a long line of unruly women, refusing to let others define who we are or how we should be. Think of us as your Hagrids. We're here to bring you the news that, by our definition, you're a witch already. We're mostly like you. We've made some bad love decisions, second-guessed ourselves, hated our bodies or faces sometimes, and tried to get through a whole day wearing uncomfortable shoes. We've worried about being pretty enough, successful enough, feminine enough, lovable enough, grounded enough. And eventually, after years of expending so much mental energy on these worries, we realized that a lot of these neurosis was coming from outside of us. If we could cast off these ideas of what we should think and look and be, if we could trick our brains into a better way of seeing with bespoke spells and rituals, we could get beyond those societal shoulds and into a safer, happier, more comfortable place. But we also have a history in dabbling in witchcraft. Jaya cast her first spell when she was 12 to get her mom to let her go to Seth's bar mitzvah. It worked. She is a New Yorker who was born around Halloween, so black clothes and attraction to creepy have always been part of her personal brand. She was raised without religion, but through a combination of influences from her Hindu grandmother, Quaker high school, and Jewish in-laws, she understands and appreciates the power of ritual. Jaya believes in intuition and that most spells are just a way to tap into it, a formalization of intent, a way to organize swirling thoughts by spending a moment alone with a candle or screaming in the woods. Her 10th great-grandparents may also have been hanged for witchcraft in Connecticut in the late 1600s, if Ancestry.com is to be believed. Hi, BC. Hi, Heather. Yeah, unruly women unite. Absolutely. Jess is an aging goth and a comics reader, so she owns a lot of black clothes and skulls and has read a lot of those books about magic with a K. But she is also a lifelong atheist and doesn't believe in mysticism or the occult. She does believe in human mind, though, and she's a big fan of using spells and rituals, though not necessarily with candles and sage, to hack into and redirect mental habits. Also, and probably more importantly, she's a big, mean feminist who wants to smash the patriarchy, white supremacy, and whatever other systems of oppression look like they're cruising for a bruising. That's why we believe we are magic. A little bit, but that's okay. You'll catch up. Just stick it on 1.25. I think I speak slow enough to where you can probably understand what I'm saying. Jess is super into the witch as a woman who does not comply, either with demands that she be weak and malleable or with gender norms that devalue some of her interests while making others off limits. Smash the patriarchy. Yes, absolutely. We'll occasionally pop in to tell you stories about our personal relationships with magic and witchery, like the one about the wax. But our goal is to guide you through the process of finding, owning, and loving your own scary powers, whether that means building custom spells, finding new witchy role models, or just learning to embrace the parts of you that are too intimidating, too strange, too unruly, too much. Let's start raising some hell. Our favorite pop culture witches. Oh, my tummy. I think I'm hungry. I'm not sure. The difficulty in finding witchspiration is separating fiction from truth. We know the names of historical witches like Marie Laveau and Tamsin Blight, but relatively little about their daily lives, and we definitely don't know whether they could indeed hex and curse, as myth now suggests. So if none of history's witches feel like the right role model, turn your attention to pop culture, which offers no shortage of badass, powerful witches to admire and emulate. Here are a few of our favorites and the specific skills they bring to the table. Yeah, so these are from fiction, of course, but... Hi, Bonnie! Good to see you. You guys haven't missed much. It's basically like power to the woman. Unruly women unite. That is the moral of their introduction. The witch is Hermione Granger. Her skill is self-assuredness. Oh, hold on. OBFF is borderline MRA. Who's OBFF? Every time he tries to express the world is unfair to men, I explain how it's patriarchy's fault, because the patriarchy hurts everyone. And he gets real hyped to smashing it. Yeah, I know the feeling. Hi. Oh, BFF. Oh, BFF is borderline MRA. Oh. It's a lot to miss. One might be tempted to peg Hermione as a mere bookworm, but time and again, she proves she contains multitudes. She's a fighter, a kind friend, and not above snagging an invite to the dance by flirting with the hot guy from out of town. Hermione is proof that if you believe in your own power, no one can define you. Only you get to define yourself. Tiffany Aching, Intuition. The eponymous heroine of Terry Pratchett's young adult books learns to be a witch and finds out that it's more about hard work and psychology than hocus pocus. Tiffany can be impatient and a little conceited, but she's also loyal, sensible, extremely perceptive, and good at making cheese. She and the witches who teach her reminds us that sometimes witchcraft is just a fancy word for keeping your house in order and caring for your own. Hermione uses books as a means to an end not because she loves them. Yeah, Hermione isn't a bookworm. Gillian Owens, skill rebelliousness. Gillian Owens is the wilder of the Owens sisters in practical magic. She's the one who will get a tattoo on a dare, move across country just because she feels like it, and collect men like they're Pokemon. She's also fiercely loyal and devoted sister, niece, and aunt. Sometimes her spontaneity gets the best of her, but hey, sometimes the best way to get rid of a man is to hex his maple syrup. He's actually a feminist in his actions, he's just unable to rupture his mind and labels. Yeah, I think I follow. He would never call himself such a thing, but maybe an ally would be a better term. Practical magic for your own life is fundamental before attempting to help others. Yeah. Witch, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, skill, empathy. Also, Hermione didn't flirt to snag a date to the dance. She showed no interest at all in the Russian bro. That's what drew him to her. Woo! Sabrina is the type of witch many of us strive to be, navigating through the world, taking care of the people we love, and always using our powers for good. Well, also, who doesn't want a sassy talking cat? Sure, sometimes she makes things really weird for a day at school, but she knows how to forgive herself and apologize, and that's strong magic indeed. Witch Sarah Bailey, skill, bravery. The craft Sarah Bailey is a witch who understands that right choices are not always easy to make. She easily could have followed her coven into reckless and harmful magic, but instead she fights against them even when they try to use mental health struggles against her. Ally is still a label. He is a cat who has been put in too many boxes, and now the boxes must all be bad. Aww, that's tragic. The Witches of Eastwick. The skill, the power of a coven. Is there any better story than when there than the one where 3 powerful women discover they're better off without a toxic man? We think not. The witches of Eastwick are indeed manipulated by a man, but they grow to understand they're stronger together. Their story is the ultimate triumph of female friendship, and, of course, Cher is the best. But cats like boxes. Indeed. Next chapter, Glamours. There we go. Makeup things. It's no coincidence that glamour, the term for appearance-changing charm in early English tales of witches and fairies, has become a modern word denoting charisma, beauty, and elan. Appearance can be magic, and powerful magic at that. But instead of casting shape-shifting spells, we can experiment with new makeup, bold outfits, and rebellious hairstyles. Yeah, I know, right? How he used their fears against them. Yeah. I should do a booktube video about it sometime. You should. Also, Discord. Also, hi Marco. I'm sorry. It kind of like blew past me a little bit. Changing your appearance might sound simple or shallow. In fact, it's anything but. Society tells women that devoting oneself to beauty and fashion is at once obligatory. Otherwise, we look unforgivably hideous. A silly waste of time. Appearance is inherently superficial and deceptive. See men posting memes about makeup as betrayal and the reason you have to take a woman swimming on the first date. But within these crazily contradictory expectations lies the root of glamorous power. Beauty is something that women alone are expected to perform, involving mysterious rituals, talismans, and bottled potions, which can influence an observer's perception to the point of being almost menacing. It sounds like the beauty arts are scoffed at precisely because they make women powerful. In reality, you are not deceiving people when you indulge in cosmetic shapeshifting. You're not being shallow either. Rather, you're letting your true self shine through. You're slogging out from the mire of messages about acceptable appearances and discovering how you want to look. Perhaps not by magically changing your hair color a la Nymphadora Tonks, but by learning how to manipulate and enhance your self-image using makeup, hair, and clothing. Whether you draw strength from unusual lipstick colors, an all-black outfit, or a lucky amulet, this chapter will help you discover how to look and feel more like yourself. Yeah, in the end, Hermione wasn't really a bookworm. Drag is a form of sorcery, by God. I think in the beginning she was just trying to get better because she didn't feel good enough about her skills and abilities. I really want to do some booktube content next year. I'm meant to this year, and 2020 dumps fire, yeah. Good point. Hadn't thought about it that way. I'm not sure that only women are expected to perform beauty. Men do have an expectation of attractiveness too. That said, their expectation is far more relaxed and forgiving than ours. You can do it, BC Brown. Drag is absolutely a form of sorcery. Absolutely. She was really nervous in the first couple of books. It's true. She was. How to clothe yourself in literal darkness. You don't have to wear all black to witch here, but it helps. I don't know, my boyfriend spends 20 to 40 minutes on his hair sometimes. Yeah. Batman got me into better face products. The first step, The first step in casting off beauty ideals is a return to a blank slate. And by blank slate, we mean a black slate. Because if witches know one thing, it's the power of the color black. Black clothes, black hats, black cats, black chokers, black nails, black lips, black magic. Why black clothes? Take your pick. Black is good for standing out, but it's also good for blending in. Think of spies or cat burglars. Basically, if your job involves doing secret things at night, this is your color. All black outfits can be chic, punk, businesslike, bohemian, dressy, or devil-may-care. You'll almost never look out of place in black unless you're at a wedding, and even that taboo has started to fade, probably because so many people's go-to dresses these days are black. In Western countries, black is associated with death and mourning, so by wearing the color of death, you project a kind of fearlessness. And sure, people say black is slimming, but really black is the color of vast things. The night sky, the deep earth, the inside of your head when you close your eyes. In a way, wrapping yourself in black brings you closer to infinity. Plus, it doesn't show dirt, and it matches everything. Men do have amazing skin products and routines often. Men's beauty standards can be no less hard to fulfill. Would love to have a more athletic body shape to be a strong, manly man in a positive way. That is interesting. It isn't just him. My husband is very picky regarding his face washes and lotions and beard oil and whatnot. Unless you are working as a stagehand or attending a funeral, you don't have to wear black. But if you've never walked out the door in head-to-toe midnight, you ought to give it a try. Put a little bit of power, vastness, mutability, and doom into your wardrobe, and see how you feel. Here are a few tips for easing yourself into the all-black sisterhood. Strong is okay, but healthy is what is important. My husband works out daily and eats pretty well, still has a dad bod, and he is gorgeous. Agreed. Also, same with the husband. Chasing epiphanies. Men's standards are hard too. The gym takes diet as well. Yeah. Doesn't show dirt. Good point. Blarg beauty standards. I'm pretty sure my dad washes his beard with shampoo and conditioner. He uses on his regular hair. I think my husband does the same. Black matches everything. Smash the standards. Blarg beauty standards. All right. Here are the baby steps into. Okay, so take baby steps. If black seems too intense and you still want to cast dark witchy vibes out into the world, start by incorporating other dark colors into your wardrobe. Deep purples, blues, silvers, and grays all evoke the night sky, and nothing says, "Don't mess with me or I'll feed you a poison apple," like blood red. And if all over black feels too flat for your aesthetic, find black clothing with a bit of shimmer or sparkle or pattern. I've never worn makeup in my life. Nowadays I want to because I love dark lipstick with my red dyed hair. It looks cool, but I get so many strong responses it scares me. Oh. Strong responses in that, like, people don't like it or people are wowed by it. It does draw attention. I love my partner's dad bod. I've started getting him into fancy beard products for selfish reasons, of course. Yeah, I did the same. People aren't used to it. Change causes pushback and feedback. I never used to wear black. Just ask my mother. I do now, though. Resistance is the first step towards change, though. Yep. Play with proportion. Massive black robes might make you look like a witch or like a nun. Instead, try pairing a long black skirt with a black camisole, or black jeans with a black crop top, or a black sweater with black shorts. Unless you like the nun look, in which case, absolutely go for it. Mixed textures. Black on black patterns and textured fabrics. Lace, embossed velvet, sheer, jacquard, tonal stripes. It can fit in any style from goth to chic, and a little goes a long way. Plus, having clothing in a variety of textures can save you from the witch's primarily sartorial challenge, spotting the one black garment you're looking for in your pile of all black clothing. I'm not going to lie, I ran into a problem when I first got my black kitten. I was wearing all black, had a black couch, and I had been given a black blanket, black fuzzy blanket, and my black kitten was sleeping on the black fuzzy blanket, and I accidentally sat on him because I didn't see my black cat on my black blanket on my black couch. I didn't see him. Makes strong responses, but always bet more than, oh, I don't like, or nah, not my thing. Most often, why would you do that? Oh. Weird culture. I mean, why not? Yeah. That is unbelievably rude of people. I agree. Clearly, your appearance spell worked. Yeah, definitely convinced at this point this book is making. I never used to wear much purple either. I do now as well. Dark color is fun. I used to all black my wardrobe, thinking that was the look necessary to being a witch. Now I embrace the colors of nature more. Black is still a big staple of my wardrobe. I change it up more now. Yeah, I definitely know those feels. It is okay to have other colors in your wardrobe other than just black. Like green. Keep black clothes beautiful. To prevent fading, wash black duds in cold water using a detergent specifically designed for darks. Extend time between washings of black jeans by placing them in a plastic bag in the freezer to kill odors. Remove deodorant stains from black tops by wetting the area, covering it with salt, and letting it stand for a couple of hours before washing. And if your clothes do fade, don't drive yourself crazy digging for a slightly more faded pair of black leggings to wear with a slightly more faded top. Life's too short to match blacks. For a witch, it all counts. Yeah, don't try to match blacks. That's just the worst. I have the same thing with purple, but I've never intentionally acquired anything purple. Oh. I was gifted left a coat secondhand that's purple. Purple shirts are gifted, passed on to me all the time. I hate pink, but I love black and pink. Black is great that way. Other colors are great ways to ground and attune yourself with energies you want to or need to embody. That's why color therapy is a big thing. Oh, Christina. I will have to read this thing after the stream. People don't realize how much drying in a dryer wrecks clothes. Hang dry is the way to clothes. It depends on the quality of your dryer. Like if your delicate is actually delicate, then you can do that. But I do have a couple of articles of clothing that I have to hang dry. I've always loved the colors of nature. I love muted purples and orchids, muted greens. My mom always used to try to get me to wear bright red and bright green. I just can't. Also, Bonnie obviously loves purple, being that her head is covered in it. I'm the same with purple. People give it to me all the time, but the only thing I've intentionally bought was an eggplant velvet jacket a la Prince. Indeed. Curl up and die. There's no shortage of black clothing on the market, but making your own can be fun. Most craft stores sell fabric dye, and although you can dye just about any garment, this is a good excuse for a shopping spree. Cool gloves, a vintage lace slip, or a luxurious shawl are easy to dye yourself. Plus, a vat of black liquid steaming on a stovetop is pretty close to a bubbling cauldron. Cauldron is the word I tried to say. You're right, dryer quality is important. I used to think that dryers kill clothes and colors, and then I got a good dryer that really does work. Yeah. A bad dryer or an old dryer can totally fuck your clothes. Tell my hubby this all the time, yeah. Pink and rainbow and glitter. Yay! My aesthetic is admittedly tacky. I bet you rock it too. Yeah. I've never ever used bad dryers then. Yeah. I do rock it. Woo. All right, last one. Highlight with color. Like the black velvet display case in a jeweler's window, your all-black outfit can serve as a background to set off whatever colorful gem you want people to focus on, whether that's a piece of jewelry, a tie, a bright hair color, a favorite hijab, a bold lipstick, or just the general gorgeousness of your face. Strategic use of black can command and direct attention as well as any spell does. Now just grab your coordinating black cat, take yourself out on the town. Then we will get into dress to sorceress, honing emotions with magical outfits. We will talk about that tomorrow. So, this was a good talk, I think. I'm going to try not to pull out my eyelashes right now. You know, that underskin itch that OCD gives me. It is a challenge. So, how many of you do the black outfit thing, and how many of you have warded against it? You can do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's like right on the inside of my eye. That's the thing about wearing makeup, is that that actually deters me from like pulling at my face. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. And tomorrow we will talk about, so today we got into the introduction and a little bit about wearing black as a power statement. And tomorrow we will continue talking about the psychology of color therapy, basically. My boots and coats are black, so I embrace black. Awesome. I've always been theater adjacent, so I have a black pair of tech pants. I wish I owned more black, but that is just because I like black. I've actually been pulling my wardrobe toward a more monochromatic blend, but not exclusive. I'd like my day wear to be mostly black, but I have a lot of colors I like to wear. Thanks for the talk. Yeah, me too, Donnie. You're my kind of mind. Yep. Thank you for joining me. Today we talked about the power of black, and tomorrow, and what it means to be a witch, basically. It means to be an unruly woman. And we will continue talking about dressing in colors and black and such tomorrow. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. I will message you, Kat. That is a thing.